Alright. You wouldn't survive 2000 mods? Mods? Yes, I would, bro.
Remember walking
I was literally out. I was literally there, bro. Literally there.
Stopping by the arcade on a whim.
Yo, thanks for the follow, bro. Appreciate that.
Music store before buying a CD. KB Toys, Suncoast, and just wandering for hours while buying nothing at all. Then you were most likely there for the peak mall eras of the 90s through 2000s. Before they
I was there.
Malls weren't just
bro, how is this peaking, bro?
Nor were they somewhere you just went around for the holiday season like many do now. Malls were a center of teenage life and culture. They were places to truly be social and discover new things while shopping and sometimes not even shopping at all. It honestly felt like they were one of the highlights of consumerism culture due to how many experiences were wrapped into that one big arena. While online shopping offers instant access to anything you like, a more comfortable experience, and many times more savings, the mall offered the potential to be a lot more than just another trip to the store. Hence why a lot of enjoyers of this peak period could compare it to a trip to an amusement park. There was socialization, a sense of adventure, and a place that was familiar.
I just think humans are social creatures, and you know, we just all like to go to the mall, you know,
but unfamiliar enough
just
to stand out.
Window shop half the time, bro.
In these golden ages of commercialization and consumerism, they were absolutely booming. It's amazing that after so many years
that's
of
crazy,
being a
bro.
cornerstone of mainstream culture, malls ended up dying a slow death. If you go out now, unless you're in a big city, a college town, or your mall is a local attraction, many times you'll be met with what seems to be an indoor ghost town. Many states now have these designated popular inside malls that you stick to, which tend to be few and far between. While every other mall is one you'll walk inside wondering, why is this still open if there's barely anyone here?
True.
Something that always makes me miss the golden age of malls is back when there were locations where it really felt like you could actually find anything you could think of, instead of just clothing, fragrances, food, and other basics. You know, like
game
the concept
stores
insinuates. So today, I really wanted to go back to that golden age to talk about the retro mall experience and what happened to it all. And if you like nostalgic cultural lookbacks like these, then feel free to like and subscribe, because that's what we do here. Now let's get on with the video.
Maybe I'll be tuning in, maybe.
You could tell a lot about someone via the stores that they shot towards when they hit the mall, and there was a lot to pick from. Of course, you had anchor stores that were actually anchors back then due to their one-stop shop gimmicks like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and more.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy how these top big companies were like anchor stores, and then like, boom, nothing else. Like it's crazy.
And then walk into other stores because why not? I'm already here now, right? Before they were just the stores that you walked into to run past the perfume department to get inside.
Bruh.
I always hate going in there.
They were spots that people actually shopped in. One look at any of their old holiday catalogs will show you that they were heavy hitters you could get anything in, from toys to appliances. That nature meant they were good, but not the best at what they had when compared to specialty stores, which the mall was full of.
Hot Topic.
It just wasn't a trip to the mall without stopping by the old Hot Topic. Before it became the Disney store featuring anime, video games, and The Office, it was a much more edgy.
Okay, I don't know much about this because this was a little bit past my 2000 time. But
back in the day,
let's see.
Korn and Slipknot tees, Invader Zim, South Park, Living Dead dolls, a CD rack, and black jeans with like 50 zippers. If you loved the Edge, then you went to this store religiously. But that old Hot Topic Edge was probably way outclassed by the old Spencer's Gifts. A store that always makes me think of lava lamps and toys. You know, those toys. You walk in and see a lot of weird knickknacks that would lure kids in like it did me. Weird lights, funny poop and toilet gags, drug culture promos, black lights, and tons of cool posters. But my dad would never let me or my sister walk to the back of the store. I wouldn't find out why until I was too old to like Spencer's anymore. And on that day, I walked through all those familiar things until suddenly there were those toys that I talked about on the wall. This is the only store.
Yeah, and it's crazy now thinking about it. Like when I was younger, and we never really went in that store, honestly, because
of where you because of that, you know, and genital-shaped candles, and it was the weirdest store in the mall. There were two mall stores that were pure magic to a kid, and any adult still in touch.
Don't say it.
Kid. And those were KB Toys and the old Disney stores.
Oh, okay.
It felt like you weren't in the mall anymore, but in a whole different world. Disney especially.
I never been to KB
made
Kids.
me feel like I stepped into Florida to visit the actual Disney World for a few minutes. These were stores where you explored and would always find something new to beg your parents for, or if you were like me, to tell them what you wanted for your birthday or for Christmas. If your mall had these, it was top tier. Sadly, they've both disappeared here, but funny enough, on my last trip to Japan, I found they had a few good Disney stores still out there. But honestly, the magic just doesn't hit the same. Two other magical stores back then were Suncoast and EB Games, or if you're around for it, Babbage's. The former being a video store and the other two, game ones. First of all, Suncoast always had
I mean, I just remember how, like, back then, GameStop and, like, bro, it was, like,
and other anime stocks,
pretty good.
Many other chains didn't.
A lot of people.
You already know, on top of having classic video store magic, it had that added bonus. Having anime before the recent popularity boom was insane. In EB Games, literally GameStop when it used to have Soul. Back when the
that's what I said.
And not just another all-in pop culture flea market. Listen, if I sat here and tried to talk about every great store with a big legacy in this detail, we'd be here all day.
Yeah.
Borders, Software, etc., Gazooks, B. Dalton. Back when Build-A-Bear actually had a full store and was the hypest thing ever.
Oh man, dude.
The timeless NTNs.
Oh dang, bro.
These types of
for me, it was Great American Cookies. Cinema.
You stop in the mall for one thing and end up inside for the entire day without running out of things to do. And we can't forget what the food court added to that.
Ah, bro, the food court.
The stores were different worlds. Then the food court was the main hub. This is where you actually ate after being decision stuck for minutes.
True.
Didn't eat at all and just talked with friends for hours. And they almost always had a Sbarro, Orange Julius, Panda Express.
Oh, the Sbarro, bro.
Somewhere with some Philly cheesesteaks. But if you are really about it, then you know that this was truly the elite area to sit and people watch.
Oh. Okay.
You're watching WinCon 97.
Huh?
Friday, you want to get up as early as we are for the early bird sale at KB Toys and KB Toy Works. You can get all kinds of toys at incredible savings from 5 a.m. to noon only. It's only Friday, only at KB Toys and KB
5 a.m.
Toy
Bro.
You're watching WinCon 97.
While the stores and food were fun, my personal favorite part of the old malls, and modern when they still have them that is, are the arcades, movie theaters, and heavy seasonal energy that they can emit. Old mall arcades were literally heaven for me. I'm not talking Dave & Buster's or even Round 1.
Alright, so I never really experienced the full arcade experience, but I wish I could. Honestly, I wish.
I'm talking old, dirty, grimy, and social arcades. Time Crisis, Carnival, Dance Dance Revolution, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. The arcades with real competition, real crowds, and people watching you play. Call me evil, but I loved ruining people's day with Sentinel in Marvel 2 during an arcade run, and having people watch me play DDR on high levels. Don't ask me to do the last one these days. I'm cooked and I'm washed.
I'll be waiting for you to try again.
While there are still a few mallcades out there like these, they're super scarce, and every time I walk in, I'm always wondering how they're still open. This all made seeing a movie at the mall even more enticing now.
You know, like, now that I think about it, like, all the gamers just went to the arcade. And, like, now, I mean,
possible to experience all this
they're just at home,
the film,
you know?
Made the entire day into an event. Reminds me of how after every movie, my dad would take me to the toy store to get a few figures of the characters from the movie. And you guys know how I feel about the holidays at the mall if you watch my Christmas and Halloween videos. These seasons made the
bro, I loved it, bro.
Because the crowds were insane. Have you ever seen KB Toys during Christmas time? Kids just lost testing out the toys that they want for Christmas, and you're looking at them wondering, where are your parents? I absolutely loved it, and I know people hate it, but you'll never catch me complaining about that holiday music.
Man, you right, bro. I'm not. This guy has good takes.
Those speakers. This is one aspect that still blesses modern malls. It was hectic and still is, sure, but to me, that's just a little part of the holiday magic.
I loved it. I loved it.
Up being diluted with the introduction of more consumerist innovations and the eventual collapse of malls. One complaint about the current era is the lack of casual third spaces that we have these days. Whereas back in time we had constant access to these,
third spaces?
It seems like now the only way you can find one is picking up a hobby, going to events like conventions, getting into sports, or joining a club. That wasn't the case in the mall era. But first, what is a third space?
Yeah,
This
what is
concept
that?
refers to a place that isn't home or the first space, nor school or work, which are second spaces, where people can gather to socialize and interact with one another.
Oh,
These
community.
spaces are neutral
Okay.
and even playing grounds where people are free to come and go as they please with no invite needed. Sites that fall under this we're all familiar with are libraries, parks, gyms, bars, coffee shops, etc. The issue with the modern variants of these is that in the current day, many share the sentiment that it can feel almost frowned upon to randomly interact with passerbys that you've never met in these establishments. This wasn't typically the case back in old malls. In fact, malls were the third space of the 90s and 2000s. The mall was a special type of social breeding ground back in those days. Climate controlled, full of different experiences, somewhat safe, and accessible to just about anyone. And the best part is that you didn't need money to exist there. Meaning, unless there was some kind of curfew during your time there, you could spend like 6+ hours doing absolutely nothing but wandering, window shopping, talking, and loitering. It was a place where it was socially acceptable to just be there.
You know, I always wondered, okay, all right. Weird fact or weird discussion. I always wondered who the hell uses those damn massage chairs. Who? Like, oh my.
That broke teens
I swear to God, bro.
And then a time before we all adopted and accepted dating apps, online communities, and netplay-based gaming, this was one of the places where people met new people. Whether we're talking about chatting movies and music with a dude at the media store, flirting with some random stranger, or sharing fatality inputs with that kid at the arcade, you were almost expected to walk up and talk to new people at the mall. While this brought up issues that many fear nowadays like public rejection, it had the added bonus of being an environment that forced social growth.
True
the reason
though.
That people from that time made up jokes for later generations such as the Gen Z stare. Ultimately, the mall was never just about buying things, it was about being seen. But the rise of online shopping to the mainstream via companies like eBay and Amazon would present a significant hurdle for malls.
Yeah, they literally took down a whole industry.
Why leave the house and ride miles away to wander aimlessly when you can get exactly what you want or need from the comfort of your own house?
True.
No social interaction or gas required. According to powercommerce.com, a study by Sophie Leslie revealed that at the same time as a 62% drop in in-store shopping, there was a 111% increase in online shopping. A clear indicator that the internet was coming for everyone, including malls. But that wasn't the only mall killer, despite being the most popular to point fingers at.
Oh, convenience stores? Definitely.
Big box stores like Walmart and Target and their constant spread have slowly been shutting down mall anchor stores for years. Not only did these stores offer the same variety of inventory,
I feel like the mall is now like a premium above the convenience stores.
Their locations are typically more convenient.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Pricing typically undercut mall-based offerings. When something like this shuts down an anchor store, it makes you realize how important all those Macy's and JCPenney's are.
Man, that rollback, bro.
Suddenly, so does more foot traffic than you'd think. The 2008 financial crisis is yet another horseman that cursed malls. With a Great Recession comes reduced spending, and malls are a very easy pleasure to cut out compared to other needs. The final nail was our shift in technology. The rise of the modern smartphone and social media replaced the need to go out.
Oh my god, bro. The original iPhone, bro.
Social media and chatting platforms like Discord and even Skype before it would eliminate the need for physical presence for many. Once again playing into that comfort culture aspect that current generations are constantly after. This all didn't only hurt shopping malls, but third spaces in general. Remember how I said how hard it is to freely find third spaces now? And how it feels more difficult to interact with strangers today? Innovations and cultural shifts like this are the culprit, and the fall of malls is the perfect example of that. Compared to being out or at some arcade where new social interactions are almost forced, you really lose something. The real interactions and spontaneous moments are what life is supposed to be full of, and that's a part of why the mall was so great. Why do you think so many movies and TV shows take place in them and capture the aspect so great? While not fully dead, most malls today, other than those that somehow evolved their image into being full-on,
I kind of want to go to a dead mall and just see like what's going on, you know?
Far cry from those of old.
Kind of want to do that.
Many are darn near dead, full of half-empty corridors, kiosks that somehow stay open, and barren food courts. Yet somehow they always still have an Auntie-Anne's and sometimes a sick classic arcade. Those that evolved though, those are thriving. Some indoor malls have grown the identity of being luxury malls, They
Yeah.
have expensive stuff that most mall goers can't even afford. Others have big attractions to draw in shoppers like Lego stores and sometimes even mini amusement parks. And then you have outside malls, outlet malls, and lifestyle centers that capture the magic of malls without the indoor nature. At the end of the day,
I like these outlets, bro.
You practically lived in there for a few hours at a time. And even though convenience ultimately replaced it, that trade-off came with a cost. And that's part of the reason why the old mall culture still sticks with so many of us. But what do you think? If you were there for it, do you miss that old mall era? What stores were your favorite, and what are some that I didn't mention that you loved? Because I know I missed a few.
I mean, I like, man, I don't know how to describe it, bro, but I was like around like I was definitely there for the end of it, and then once like online shopping, like everything was going fast, like bang bang bang, the malls just started boom, like shutting down. So I was there for the end of it. So I only got to experience like a couple years before it actually, you know, started recessing, I guess, if that's even a word. But anyways, yeah, WVid, I really like this one for sure. Yeah.